Good morning and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, I did something interesting last night. I went to a concert. Yeah, there was two large choirs that were combining their talents, and I guess you'd call it a mass choir. And I kind of like that kind of thing, that kind of stuff. And so I went, and it was really good. But I was sitting there and waiting for it to start, and I was reading through the program, and I get to the very end of the program, and here they're going to be singing one of the pieces that I'd always wanted to hear a mass choir sing live. And it's a very famous piece. You'll probably hear it at King Charles's coronation. And it's, I believe it was written by Handel, and it's called Zadok the Priest. And that is a powerful piece. And they did such a fantastic job. They got a standing ovation for that piece. Yeah, anyway, it was really nice to go. And what kind of made it special was that one of my viewers was actually in the choir. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, and he also had reminded me about this. I knew about a week ago already that it was coming up, and he reminded me. So thank you, Daniel, for reminding me. I really enjoyed that. Okay, enough about the choir. I got a comment from somebody, and they were talking about to the effect of I was using too much CA. And most of the time I do. I just put it. Sometimes I don't notice I'm doing it, and sometimes I notice afterwards I've done it. And but this time I deliberately did it. And that was on this little piece. Why don't I'll just dub in a little thing off the side so it's easier than to try and pick it up here. And anyway, I knew I was using a lot of CA. Well, I wanted to bury that connection, so that after it was painted, it would sort of all look like it was one piece. And also, the more CA you put on a connection like that, the stronger it's going to be. Less chance of breaking it off. Okay, got another comment. And that was about our little part here, the photo etch B10. And somebody indicated that if we peruse ahead a little bit in the manual, we find out where it connects, and they were thinking that possibly instead of having that piece fastening onto just one little tiny, easily broken off spot, you might be able to attach it to two places. Just give it a little bit more rigidity. That is one of the things that even gently brushing my easy line against as I'm doing the rigging at the end of the build, because that's usually the very last thing I do is the rigging, and you'll bend it. It's just so incredibly fragile. But I readily admit that it is these fragile little things that give it the extra detail. But I meant to tell you something here and I forgot. When Gabe was over here a week ago, I was sort of watching him to see his reaction when he went up to the ship case there and looked at the ships. Gabe did not put his nose to the glass and get in really close with a magnifying glass. He did what almost everybody else does, and that is you stand back and you look at it basically from arm's length, because you want to get in the whole perspective of the whole ship. And these little flaws that really bother me sometimes with the macro lens, the average person that comes up there doesn't see that unless you were to enter it in in a model contest or something like that. Then the judges, they're going to get in there with their magnifying glass. I know that, but most people see your models from arm's length. And the bigger the model, the further back they are. I guess that means that if they brought out a model with to 1 to 100, instead of 1 to 200, we'd be back 2 arms lengths? I don't know. Yeah, you don't want to, get in really close when you're viewing a model like that. You enjoy it best when you get to see the... Okay, I think I beat that to death, didn't I? What else was I going to mention here? Oh, the sunrise this morning. I got to check it out. I think it might be a little bit interesting. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do a special sunrise segment. Maybe I'll do it at the end of today's episode. The reason being is because on the way back, I kind of saw the sunset. Now it had basically been over, but you got to see, at least you got to see where it had been, and I got to see it in a rather interesting light, you might say. So I'm just going to do a separate thing at the end of today's episode and tack it on. Okay, I think we should sort of move on here today, and where were we anyway? What else did we have to do? We were going to try and put that little piece, the photo etch B10, onto the L15. But then, as I mentioned, if we wait a little bit, we might be able to put it on later and attach it to 2 places instead of just 1. I think I beat that to death too, didn't I? Okay, as I have indicated, we are going to wait to put this piece on. So that means we are basically done with step 33. And now we're starting step 34. We're moving along, folks. We're moving along. And we're going to be dealing with some nice big pieces. We're going to have a nice large module done when we're get to the end of this step. And it looks like there's not a whole lot of photo etchers. I was going to say, here's some photo etch, but I'm noticing that's plastic. Bonus. Okay. I want to congratulate the person that wrote this particular step. Yeah, there's no photo etch anywhere, unless I'm missing it. And some of these pieces we've already got made, like these little guys right here. Okay, now time has really gotten away on me here. I slept in again till after 8 o'clock this morning. That's twice now this year. Oh my goodness, what's happening to me? Anyway, let's find some pieces here. We need E15, 22, 14. Looks like a lot of it's on the E sprue. In fact, H. Yeah, I was going to, well, most of the stuff, the main stuff is on the E sprue. So, let's get some parts. Now, isn't this exciting? We are beginning the funnels. And we need 14, 15, and 22. Okay. 14. 15 and 22. There's something thrilling about nipping off big sprue pieces. Yeah. Okay, moving a little bit more to the right, we need 20. There are 2 20s. There's one over in the other corner, but the plans are not calling for it yet, so. And that's another piece that we don't have to fiddle with photo etch. Remember on the other 3 ships, we had to make this part. It wasn't round, it was sort of oval shaped, but we had to make it using photo etch, and it was an experience, let's put it that way. I enjoyed it, though. All right, we also need number 12 and number 13 here. And they look a little bit different, but on the plans they look alike. It might be possible to get them in the wrong, in the wrong location. So I'm wondering if maybe I should just sort of hang on to the numbers here if I can. See if I can nip these so that I can keep the numbers until I decide what I'm going to do with them. Should be able to. Yeah, there we go. There's the 12s. And the 13s. This is kind of fun to see if I can do this. Ooh! Well, it's still on the table, folks. It's still on the table. That's what I should have done, right? Okay, where did it go? Oh, it's way over there by the sprue pen. Okay, we got him. Okay, now we need an E2, an 18, and a 19. Now I'm wondering, notice on the you might call it the flare, it almost, I wonder, is it supposed to look like that, or is it just flashing that I've got to get off later? Okay, so we got the 2. Alright, 18 looks a lot like the one we just nipped off. So I'm wondering if I should do the same thing again. I'll just keep it with the number attached. Now 19 looks a little different, but as long as we're doing that, we may as well keep that one attached as well. Now I'm noticing that there are 2 18 and 19s. You probably saw that too. However, I just checked step 34 and nowhere does it say make 2. So we'll probably need these later on for the other funnel. I don't know if we're making the forward funnel or the aft funnel. Okay, now we're at something that is not attached to the E sprue anymore. We've got L36. And I don't think we need to keep the numbers attached for this one. It's pretty obvious. And being as there's only one of them, I guess it's a case of we are only going to have to put them on one of the funnels. Unless there's another one somewhere else. Okay, let's move on. Now here is a perfect example of where a person should read carefully. I'm looking at the manual here and I'm seeing, okay, we need H14, H15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, so I'm looking at the H sprue here and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, 19 is missing. And I actually wasted quite a bit of time, you might say, trying to figure out what happened. I was thinking, did I nip it off and put it in a test tube? And well, no, because I would have put it in the plastic bag with all the H's. But it's not H, it's R. I should wear my stronger glasses all the time. Okay, here we go. Now, this one and this one look like they're mirror image to each other. Does that mean they could be put on wrong? I got a feeling I'm going to have to get myself a whole bunch of little, I guess, little tubs. Not tubs, but tuna fish tins. I think I can still read that. Just getting a little bit closer on the 14 here if I can. All right, so we got those two. Now, as for these two, they could possibly go on wrong, but I don't think so. But just in case, this is the bottom, so we'll put a 17 on that one. And is that a 16 or an 18? No, it's a 16. So, okay. Now, like I say, that's the bottom, so it doesn't matter. We should be able to keep them separate somehow. No, don't want to nip too close there. Alright, I think we should be just about done with this sprue. Is there anything else we need here? We didn't need the 18s, did we? Because they were something else. Oh my goodness, for those of you who are looking at the clock, look at the time. 1:53 already, and I've got a ton of editing to do. Yeah, it doesn't pay to sleep in. And a while ago I was wondering, well, why did I sleep in? And then I remembered, oh yeah, around 1 o'clock in the morning I woke up and I had this vicious leg cramp. It was the kind of leg cramp that you're sort of thinking, somebody please shoot me. Anyway, after a while it subsided to the place where I could get out of bed, and I took a couple of aspirins. I thought maybe that would help. Well, I think the aspirins acted like some sort of a sedative, and they kept me from waking up. I was going to say from sleeping, but no. Okay, I'm going to have to call her quits here. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we're going to see you in the morning. Now, I guess in order to keep everything in perspective, you might say, we have to have last night's sunset before we can have this morning's sunrise. Otherwise, it's backwards. Anyway, yeah, coming home from the concert last night, I got to see the sunset, or what was left of it. But what was unique about it is I got to see it from the other side of the bridge that we normally see our walkers on. And yeah, now if this car had not been parked in front of me, we would have got to see the bridge a little bit better. But you know, kind of interesting to see it from the other side. And I think we're actually seeing it better here than we see it in the mornings. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting, and you'd like to see that. Now, about this morning's sunrise. It was different, but it was nice. And yes, we did eventually get to see the walkers, as you will see.